out to Hoop Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to Hoop
Jargon.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Peace to everybody that showed up early to this discussion. I appreciate all of y'all. Believe that. Shout out to Rap God, always loyal to the channel. Appreciate you, brother. Salute right back to you. Shout out to my boy Christian G, loyal Hoop Jargon member since been pimping. My man, Christian G. All right, man. We all know why we here, man. CMI is showing us some support. Appreciate you. So before we get into the video, let me get the YouTube stuff out the way, man. If you have not subscribed to the channel already, I would vehemently encourage you to do so. It's going to grow the channel. I mean, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I told y'all my goal is 1,000 by the end of the summer. We're like midway through. So if y'all help your boy out, if you have not subscribed to the channel, if somebody wants that hoop talk that they deservedly need, to steal the words, my man DJ Ron Cut Truth, man, subscribe to the channel and refer that channel to me. My channel to them, and we can get it popping, man. So, all right. So what I'm gonna do with this discussion today, man, because it keeps coming to the forefront. And Christian knows he's in the Hoop Jargon group. That is the Facebook group, and a lot of people are kind of on the Trae Young thing right now because out of sight, out of mind. Luka Dončić is not playing basketball, so I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. And I do want to bring some of y'all on. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some of my key pieces. And I'm going to drop the StreamYard link in the chat. And so after a while, if you want to hop in, matter of fact, let me copy that bad boy now as we speak. And shout out to StreamYard, man. Let me do it on the phone now. Like the computer, man, I don't know. It's kind of, I'm not a computer guy anymore. I don't know what happened to me. I just don't do computers, man. But anywho, let's get to 1K. Appreciate you, G. All right, so let's talk about Luka Dončić and Trae Young. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start off with my opinion off front, and then I'll give you some important details of why I think the way I think and just give my honest critique. Now, we're talking about Luka Dončić. No, you know what? I want to give Trae his respect, and I want to give, shout out to Perk, giving Hoop Jargon the shout out. He wasn't necessarily wrong. We know about the tweet he put out about that, Trae Young isn't getting his respect, and the media know who they like and all that. Now, I'm not trying to dismiss the idea that the great white hype is what the media wants to produce. Look no further than Adam Morrison when he was, supposed to be the next Larry Bird. Nah, bro. And I saw that like a Hubble telescope, view. Luka is kind of being promoted in that light as far as when you compare him. These damn dogs, man. Hold on 1 second, man. But I swear, they're about two of the ugliest dogs you've seen in your life. But yeah, so we back. So Luka is getting that coronation, as it were, to be the next guy. And so I don't refute what Kendrick Perkins means by that. However, Luka Dončić is he's that guy. He's not like a propped up guy who you trying to force like a Tyler Hansbrough. In the past, I can think about white guys. Luka Dončić is that dude. So if you don't understand that right now, you're losing that life. Oh, I gotta give a shout out to the Astros too. Astros whooping that ass. Don't mess with Texas. You know what time it is. Say off topic. I see you made sure to see that head. Oh yeah. I thought you was about to choke on them dogs, man. Bro, them dogs are two of the ugliest dogs you've seen in your life. So let's be doing out here, man. We gotta build as we fly, man. All right, so I understand what Perk was saying, but I don't think that takes away from what Luka Dončić is. I mean, if we're looking at to just juxtapose the two players, one's 6'7", one's 5'11". You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna ebb towards the bigger guy every time. And here's why. When your best player on your team is small and frame like that, and you have to rely on him to step up, eventually his body's going to wear down. Eventually, when it's nut cutting time, when you got to make tough buckets, that body won't allow that to happen. So I'm going to ebb towards the bigger player pretty much every time. Not every time. I mean, if the talent dictates me to think differently, then, I'll think differently. But in this case, I mean, if we're going to be real here, Luka Dončić is going to be an MVP before Trae Young. But let's start off with that. Psycho T was insane. Oh, yeah, that boy's the same, man. Psycho T was something else. I never thought he was that good, man. But I do like a guy with a motor, man. I do like a guy who's just going to go out there and just give all his all, even though he's not very good. So I will give him credit for that. Andrew says, I will say the West is harder than the East. Hawks have a better roster as well. Of course. And from a personnel standpoint, Porzingis, he's hurt all the time. He's kind of light in the ass. I mean, very talented, but he, basically voicing displeasure about the situation in Dallas. I mean, he's going to have to accept, man, you're never going to be the star guy in Dallas, man. You're going to be the quiet, solid leader because, A, you can't stay on the court consistently, and B, you're just not better than Luka. You need to just the earlier you accept that, the better, sir. Y'all be the 2 Euro kids who just take over Dallas, and that needs to be your mentality. You're not going to be the second dirt. Sorry, it ain't happening. But so to say all that, let me bring it to back what we're speaking about as far as the what people are currently doing right now. And shout out to everybody who's trickling in on the chat. YouTube notifies y'all so late, but better late than never, man. So right now, Trae Young is, he's 1-1 in the series with the Bucks. Now, before last night's game, there was a stronger case to be made that Trae is trending crazy up, but they got dusted off like a damn pile of dirt on my balcony. You understand what I'm saying? So they got that treatment last night, losing by 30. So what I've noticed is some of his more ardent fans have kind of backed off a little bit of the claims. However, if we're going to take this whole postseason in a vacuum, Trae Young is doing his damn thing. It is a reason for, people getting a little overzealous. He's putting up 30 and 10 in the playoffs right now, which is probably the individual best playoff performance. I think he benefits from his team and the scheme. Also, a really good coach in Nate McMillan. Shout out to Nate McMillan, man, getting the interim job and stepping up and turning that team around. And now they, have championship aspirations. Now, realistically, would they be in that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I want to give props where props do. Rev God says, speaking of Mavericks, Kidd is the new head coach. Speaking of Mavericks, Kidd's new head coach thoughts. I think that's a great fit because, as we all know, Jason Kidd got his start in Dallas. Jason Kidd is a guy, I think, he's one of the top 5 point guards in my opinion. And he's a guy that, Luka is a point guard minded, small forward, that new hybrid that everybody likes now. I think his because you want a guy with that type of experience who's done it on the highest level. Also, and we played for the Mavericks twice in his career, actually. Familiar with the organization, familiar with Mark Cuban, which is very important. Mark Cuban does not play around. So I think that's a great hire moving forward. So I'm really looking forward to what the Mavericks can do moving forward. Jason Kidd, has been assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers the past 2 years. So he understands winning from a coaching level. He also understands winning from a player level. And I think the coaching level was something he had to do because, his first 2 stints with the Bucks and the Nets did not go so well. So now I think he's in a stead where he's more of a complete coach and he's not going to be the same kind of guy that he was when he first started, which, as you remember, he got to be a coach really, really soon. And I think it was a little bit too soon. If y'all remember, he had he coached the Nets. He's like bumping to me. He had a cup of something he had in his hand, and the player bumped into him so it could spill on the court so they could stop play like that. That's juvenile, man. What the hell was he thinking? All right, Christian G says, Luka is just harder than a 22-year-old body. That's the true comparison that should be talked about. Yeah, as far as his player efficiency rating is and what he has to do with the talent around him, yes. And I think that is kind of a dangerous formula. As you know, I do not like James Harden. I'm okay with the Brooklyn version. I was okay with the OKC version, the Rockets version of James Harden. I didn't like it at all. To me, when you bastardize basketball, I cannot do it. So I won't go that far. but I will say that it is pretty reminiscent of the overuse of the player. So I think that's a very solid point there, Christian. Terry EJ says Luka is gonna fizzle out. I doubt that, man. Luka Dončić has been a hooper since he's about 16, man, and playing in the best league in Europe, which is the ACB league, which is in Spain. He'll be fine. So no, I don't see how he fizzles out unless he gets hurt. His game is just he has too much. He got too much meat on his game. Like, how can you fizzle out if you can do all those things and still facilitate? Like, how do you fizzle out? I don't understand that. Especially when you having a pro body size, being 6'6", 6'7", depending on who you ask. I don't understand how he could fizzle out. All right, DTRM, keep telling people, stop doing that. But Trae is a hooper, no doubt. So Luka is, but the negative knocks of Trae that call earlier that people attaching him. Let's see. Keep telling people to stop doing that. But Trae is a hooper, no doubt. So is Luka. The negative knocks of that Trae caught early on, people trying to keep attaching to. That second part, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so I mean, Trae's a hooper, but to me, it's like recency bias. Like when people start kind of stepping in and doing well in the playoffs, people oversell players. We see it all the time. Let's look at the NCAA. I hate when people have a good tournament and they act like that's going to transcend to being a good pro. Absolutely not. That is not correlated to that. So it's about how you transcend your level and how do you go forward? How does that trend forward? It's not necessarily just you having this one great run and that defines your whole career. Absolutely not. So I think some Trae fan supporters, some Trae Young supporters are kind of going a little too hard in that spectrum. So let me go over a few more things. So now as far as just raw stats, I think they're very comparable players. We look at start with Luka, averaging 26, 8. I put it on Don't Disturb or something. Sheesh. Okay, yeah. So Luka's putting up 26, 8, and 8. He's a two-time All-NBA, two-time All-Star.